The European Union delegation to Nigeria and the ECOWAS dismissed as inaccurate reports that it declined an invitation from the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) on observing the Nigerian elections. ADC governorship candidate Najim Salaam tonight joins us exclusively on the program to outline his agenda ahead of the August 15 election. Hello everyone, welcome to the program and thank you for joining in. This is Politics Today, live on Channels Television. I am Sean Kimale for you here in our Abuja studio. Let's begin by letting you know how the EU is clarifying and debunking some stories that say is untrue. The European Union delegation to Nigeria and the ECOWAS have both dismissed as inaccurate reports that it declined an invitation from the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) to observe Nigeria's 2027 general elections over security concerns or alleged hostility towards its officials. In a statement issued earlier today in Abuja, the EU ambassador Gautier Minot confirmed that the blog received INEC's former invitation in April and responded in July, informing the Commission that it would deploy an electoral expert mission of between 2 and 4 independent experts who will be formally accredited as observers. The EU says the mission will assess the electoral process against Nigeria's national, regional, and international democratic commitments and produce recommendations for improving future elections. It says that neither insecurity nor the treatment of its observers following the 2023 elections was cited in its correspondence with INEC, describing those claims as pure speculations. The delegation added that the decision to deploy the smaller expert mission was based on its assessment of individual country circumstances and available resources and would not affect ongoing EU support for Nigeria's electoral process under its support to democratic governance program. Tonight I will be up and exclusive with the governorship candidate of the ADC, Mr. Najim Salaam, who will be telling us the chances of the ADC in the August 15 election. Does the ADC stand a chance? A leader, Rauf Aregbesola, in the party, are taking leaders of the party, including the national chairman and the presidential candidate of the party, Atiku Abubakar, to Osogbo, where they had a massive outing today. But we'll be talking about the chances of the ADC, what the ADC are differently to offer the people of the state ahead of the elections. But that is going to be majorly on the program. Then I'll be speaking later on to the deputy spokesperson of the House of Representatives. There's a lot to talk about. But first, let's serve you some of your political roundup stories.
Civil society organization Kimpact Development Initiative is asking the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) to establish a structured election day communication system capable of providing timely updates on logistics, polling procedures, technology deployment, and result management in the Osun State governorship election. Executive Director Mr. Bukola Idowu stated this during the Osun State pre-election assessment security risk exercise in Abuja. The finding identifies 9 local governments as hotspot locations requiring enhanced preventive engagement, calling on security agencies to adopt intelligence-led election security in the Osun State governorship election. Mr. Idowu notes that the success of the Osun governorship election depends less on the absence of isolated incidents of electoral institutions, security agencies, political actors, and local communities to manage the interaction of multiple electoral pressures before they escalate into wider conflict. The Inter-Party Advisory Council, IPAC, is calling on all stakeholders in Osun State to ensure the August 15 governorship election is free, fair, transparent, credible, and peaceful. Addressing a news conference in Abuja after a General Assembly of the Council, the National Chairman, Yusuf Dantale, says the Council is worried about heightened political tension in the state. and urged political actors to de-escalate the situation immediately. The council declared that the people of Osun must be allowed to choose their governor, as the ultimate determinant of the outcome must be the freely expressed will of the people through their votes. The African Democratic Congress ADC has flagged off its governorship campaign in Osun State, vowing to rescue the state from economic stagnation and provide transparent, people-centered governance. The party leadership, alongside thousands of supporters, gathered at the state capital, Osogbo, to present its flag to the governorship candidate, Mr. Najim Salaam. Addressing the crowd, the national chairman, Senator David Mark, the presidential candidate of the party, Atiku Abubakar, and other senior officers of the party call on the citizens of the state to vote for the governorship candidate of the party. The PBAT Door-to-Door Movement 2027 and the leadership of the All Progressives Congress Youth Wing have agreed to a strategic collaboration to mobilize voters at the grassroots ahead of the 2027 general elections. The agreement was reached during a strategic stakeholders engagement in Abuja between the movement's national leadership and the APC national youth leader, Mr. Dayo Israel. Speaking at the meeting, the national coordinator of the PBAT Door-to-Door Movement 2027, Mr. Adekombi Asuku, describes the engagement as a convergence of purpose aimed at securing the re-election of President Bola Tinubu and all APC candidates in 2027. As political activities kick off in Rivers State, political stakeholders in the Orashi region of Rivers State are drumming up support for the re-election of President Bola Tinubu in 2027. This was made known in Ahoda during the inauguration of the Orashi mandate for Tinubu. Speaking during the ceremony, national coordinator of the group, Chidi Dogini, assured that they will work to deliver all the candidates of the Rainbow Coalition in the region.
Thank you so much. You have it, your political roundup story. So today we saw what is a lot of people going to attend the ADC governorship campaign in Osun State. And a number of the party leaders, including the national chairman of the party, Senator David Mark, alongside the national spokesperson of the party, Bolaji Abdullahi. Prominent at that event is Mr. Atiku Abubakar, former vice president and the presidential candidate of the ADC. Senator Dino Melaye was the master of ceremony, where the party is proclaiming its capacity to win the election. Well, Osun State is approaching another defining moment at the ballot box. And beyond the rallies, slogans, and political calculations, the question for voters is increasingly straightforward. Who has a credible plan to make life better as the August 15 governorship election draws closer? Concerns over jobs, household incomes, education, healthcare, infrastructure, workers' welfare, and opportunities for young people are competing with a familiar battle for political control. Tonight, we'll put those issues at the heart of a conversation to the governorship candidate of the African Democratic Congress in Osun State, Mr. Najim Salaam, who is live for us in Osogbo, the capital of Osun State. Mr. Salaam, it's a pleasure having you join us on the program tonight.
Oh, nice meeting you, Sheon. Nice meeting you, Sheon. Yeah.
Let me get your view. You are seen as a third leg in the race, which means that those who believe that there is the top contenders, you fall into that bracket. But you are being seen as a third leg, as a challenger, yes, but as a third leg. What do you make of that characterization and profiling?
Yes, people that are not living in Osun can do that kind of characterization. People in Osun know where they are going, and I'm telling you right away that I'm the candidate to beat. I'm ready to win this election. And the people of Osun have shown that they are going with us. So I don't know where
let's forget about,
Yeah.
Dr. Salaam, if I may jump in, you have repeatedly rejected suggestions that you could withdraw for another candidate. You said you are in the race. You said emphatically that you are in this election to win it. But Osun politics has historically been dominated by the structure that became today's major blocks, while ADC is trying to establish itself as the alternative. There are those who say there isn't any major structure of the ADC in the state. Dr. Salaam, forget the rallies, forget the party loyalists for a moment. When you speak privately to ordinary people in Oshogbo, in Ilesha, in Ile-Ife, in Ede, in Ikirun, and in the rural areas of Osun State, what evidence do you have that is genuinely a three-way race and not ultimately a battle between Adeleke's accord structure and the APC, where precisely are your winning votes going to come from?
Shehu, it is the people that build the party, not other way around. And some of us that have been in this ADC as a political party, we've been in the political terrain for long. We know what the structure of the party means. And we know how to go about it. We've been doing this for years. Those that belong to other people that you are seeing, they are learning from us. When generals are playing the game, others will be looking at it. We know the game and we play it the right way. We are going to win this election. I've moved around the state, I've talked to the people, the traditional rulers, the market women, and I know what they want. They prefer us to the two parties that you mentioned, because of the ideas that we are bringing into the system.
Give me the numbers, Dr. Salaam. Give me the numbers. Which senatorial district do you expect to win? And where is ADC currently ahead? Where would you say you're standing ahead? Give me the numbers. Where are you hoping to win? Which local government? Which area? Is it in Ilesha? Is it in Ikirun? Is it in Ede? Is it in Oshogbo? I'm mentioning places in Osun State that holds the vote in a governorship election.
Yeah, this election, and it requires strategy. And when you are going to election like this, you don't disclose your strategy. Not even this time of the vote buying. If I mention some local government to you today, I know tomorrow money will exchange hands. For you to know that I'm ready, I want to tell you that some people want me, and I'm ready. I can tell you, boldly tell you that there's no local government that I'm not determined to win. I'm ready to win all the local government that we have in the state, and I've prepared for that, and I will work for that. So I'm not going to relay my strategy to the opponent for them to lay ambush for me. So keep on watching, few days to go, and the result will be known to the whole world.
So you think that you can defeat Adeleke? You think that you can come ahead of Ambo, the APC candidate? That's what you believe?
Politically speaking, they are my juniors in politics. Forget about the position of the party that they all belong to. We know people that know, we know the people that can really play the game. And they themselves know that this is the senior when it comes to the real game of it. Politics, if it's come to the fairness, and we have a clean, perfect, level playing ground, there's no way they can beat me. I can beat my chest to that. And I'm telling you, wait for Saturday, you will see the result of the election.
Now, give me an idea, Dr. Salaam. Your opponents will say that Najim Salaam is simply Rauf Aregbesolah's candidate. So let me ask you directly tonight, Dr. Salaam. Are you your own man? If Governor Salaam takes a decision tomorrow, if you become the governor, that Rauf Aregbesolah strongly opposes, whose judgment prevails, yours or his?
Just because I know that people are very myopic in their thinking. Moving around the state, the local government and the traditional rulers, I've been doing this all alone by myself, without Rauf Aregbesolah, to let people know my worth, that I know what I want and I know what I want to do in the government. Ogbeni Aregbesolah joined this campaign not quite long, like I can say like 3 or 4 times that he joined us. So on my own I can stand. I read political science in the university, up to the level of PhD level. I know what it means, and I've been in this political thing I started from grassroots as a supervisory councillor in the local government. I was in the House of Assembly, and another time I was there as a Speaker of the House of Assembly. So I know the work, I know the job. Yes, the fact that I belong to the same party that Raw is does not make me to be a dullard. Does not tell me that I shouldn't do things my own way. And of course, Raw, whoever that knows Raw should know that it's a person that leave you to your own thing. You go your own way, your own decision, do it the way you want it. He doesn't dictate for anybody. I've worked with him, and I know the kind of person he is. And almost everybody in the state know him. He do his own thing the right way. If you are not in the Rauf Aregbesola party, definitely you will be with another person in another party. Be with Rauf. I'm proud of it to be with him because he is the man that wants progress for the state of Osun. I'm not regretting that, but I'm saying that I'm a man and I know what I'm doing. With my age, with my level of education and exposure, I know the right thing to do at the right time, not waiting for direction or directive from anybody. I have a very clear objective for what I want to do in government, and that is why I have a 10-point developmental agenda. If somebody that knows its what will come out with the agenda of what you want to do in the government when you are there, not that somebody will dictate to you. I have it all over. People have it around. 10-point developmental agenda that will lay my hands on when I have the opportunity of serving.
Dr. Najim, let me ask you.
Ask me.
In the Aregbesolah's 8 years of being governor of Osun State, can you tell us one policy of that Aregbesola government you believe was wrong and which you would not repeat?
Well, you know, the government, you make policy for the people, and based on your own perception of it, when you make the policy, people may react to it. Two, there may be some other indices that determine what comes at a particular point in time. I will tell you of a thing that people are tagged Aregbesola to be Baba Hausa of a thing. Yes, Baba Hausa is not his own personal making. It is as a result of the circumstances that we have then. I will make sure that we do not have a situation where the workers or anybody will use that to color me, to link me up with Rauf Aregbesola. The welfare of the workers and the retired people of the state is my priority and will be my priority.
The reason why I'm asking this question is that there are those who are die-hard fans and supporters of Rauf Aregbesola, that you are aligned with Rauf Aregbesola is the reason why they would vote for you. There are those who do not agree with Rauf Aregbesola, who think that there are some policies during the Rauf Aregbesola days that they detest and they do not think that are right. And we know Rauf Aregbesola is someone, whatever he believes in it, he stands with it and he defends it. And that's the reason why I wanted to know whether you are your own man and Rauf Aregbesola is not going to be the third term of Rauf Aregbesola.
No, Sheon, listen. Some people will, because of Aregbesola, vote for me, right? Correct. Some will, because of him, not vote for me. I have my own quality as well. I've been in government, I've been in the state, and people know me. People know my behavior, they know my character. They know who Dr. Najim Folasayo Salaam is in Osun. So I will have an added advantage being a friends, colleagues of Ogbeni Rauf Aregbesola, not other way around. I have my own born quality that qualify me to be the governor of the state on my own. So I will be a man. I'm a man of myself and a man of myself. People that knows me, of course, you are a journalist and you are doing the interview from afar. But people that lives around it also, they know me and I know what I stand for. Whatever I believe in, I stand for it.
You know that, Dr. Salam, you know that I know you very well. As a former speaker of the and this is not your first time of wanting to become governor of Osun State. So I know pretty much who you are. I know your antecedent and I know your profile just a bit. But you present yourself today as the alternative to the political establishment. You see yourself as an outsider. That's how you want people to see you, as an alternative to what is presently going on in the state. But you were Speaker of the House of Assembly under the APC administration. You were at the center of power, not on the outside. So when you criticize the condition of Osun State today, how much responsibility do you personally accept for decisions taken during the years when you were one of the state's most powerful political stakeholders?
Thank you very much. I'm not just only an alternative. I'm the credible alternative that also people are waiting for. I have that credibility and the quality to be the governor of the state. While serving as the Speaker of the House, I did all that within my capacity to make sure Osun State develop. And that is why we have all those achievements, because nothing passed the table or the governor without running through the system of the House of Assembly as a time of budgetary provision, of which I have my own involvement deeply in it, criticizing it. When you have the budget, before you bring it out budget, you correct things that you think they are not good, or things that you think that will not go the people's way. And that is why we are at the House to correct that, to do that. I've done that. And that is why we have a very peaceful, the most peaceful government in Osun as at that time. And that is why we can lay our hand on the legacy laid by Ogbeni Rauf Adegbesola that is yet to beat. Nobody has yet to beat that record of Rauf Adegbesola in the state of in Osun State.
All right, let me ask you. You have unveiled 10-point developmental agenda. That's what you are committing to the people of Osun State. Am I right? You said, and it's talking about several
that is with all sincerity.
Sectors.
With all sincerity.
You have talked about healthcare, security, and other development priorities. But a lot of politicking and slogan dropping goes on during campaigns, which really goes above the head of the average voter. Well, they drop numbers, they drop figures, policy statements that really do not meet the reality and the plight of the average person. And I'd like you this evening to talk to the reality. You are one speaker, so you can tell what policy directly affects the grassroots person. Every candidate in this race, they promise better healthcare, better education, better agriculture, better roads, better security, more jobs. The difficult question is financing. Osun State is one of the most hit states when it comes to financing several years ago. And there are those who will say things may have changed. How much will your 10-point agenda, Dr. Najim, will cost you in your first 4 years if you will become the governor? What is Osun's realistic revenue capacity? And I want to hear the figure realistically and how this will directly impact your promises that you are making. Will you abandon it if the money is not simply there?
Yeah, too many questions in one bit here. Let me start by saying that, yes, politicians will come out and say different things at a different time, that they will do this and that. I think why most of them fail because they do not have the fear of God. I have the fear of God, and I want my names to be boldly written in gold as an achiever. I want the integrity to continue forever for me and my generation yet unborn. So all the program was codified. I put it in black and white, and I distributed it across the state for people to have it, to see it. And I asked them to hold it and ask me question. If I'm given the power to rule the state, any of this one that I'm not doing, they should call my attention, they should call me and call me whatever names they want to call me. Whoever that is very serious, the clarity of purpose, clarity of objective, determine the sources of any project. I have a very clear objective of what I'm going to do without interruption, and that shows the difference between me and others. And that shows that I am a man
my question here, fundamentally.
I will go to it. I said your question that you...
Where is the money? Your manifesto sounds good. Your manifesto may have been put together by someone in Harvard, but does it meet the aspiration of the average Osun person? The man
somebody in Harvard may not know what some people need.
That is the point I'm making. Where is the money? Give us the figure.
Yes.
What are the numbers?
The money,
what is the revenue? How are you hoping to generate more money? What monies will go What are your percentages to go in your budget to education, to health? What exactly? Give us the numbers. Talk so specifically.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. The access code to the governance has not been given to me directly. There are things that I can say. There are things that I may not say for now. But I'm telling you that even the money that we have in the states now is even enough to develop most of these things that you can see, if one is very, very focusing. Now, rapidly, we are having not less than 13 billion on monthly for the state. But there are things that I want to introduce that will gear up our high GR. And by that, I will have more money. Investor will be in my state. And when we have investor, definitely there will be money in circulation. There will be money for government. One, electricity. You know, as a matter of fact, that in Nigeria of today, since 2023, the National Assembly, by law, we have the right, the states have the rights now to generate electricity by themselves and do a lot of other things. I promise the people of the state that I'm giving them 24/7 electricity. And I want to assure you that if you can have this alone, definitely also economy will turn around. And definitely the IGR of the state will increase. Agriculture, I'm a farmer. Agriculture on its own, if it is well, if you government focus on it more, on its own, it can generate the money that government needs to run the power, the system, without even waiting for the federal allocation. And I know the area to go. I've been in the system. I know what is the gap that I need to fill. And that is the essence of coming out. If not that, I will leave people to be doing it the same way they have been doing it. Because I know the gap and I'm ready to fill in the gap, that is why I'm coming to fill the gap. Yes, specifically, I will not give you figures. I will not give you figures, but what I can tell you is this. I know I have a plan. I have my strategic plan of how to make things work even without the federal allocation. That is a strategy that I will keep to myself. When the time comes, I will think I will expose you to the generality of the people.
So you promise electricity.
I promise that.
Stable electricity. Can a governor actually deliver that? How do you want to make that happen? There is also an aspect of power generation that is now unbundled for state to be able to take advantage of.
It is not only a promise, it is things that will come to reality. It is not only Osun State that we have it. I read of sometimes a few days ago about Yobe. Something like this has come up. Abia State, I've been doing something like this. Some other few, Niger State, I've been doing something like this. And it is possible task. And I've gone far in looking for ways to do it. I have my will of doing it. Without knowing this, I wouldn't come out and say it boldly that electricity is doable. We can do it. And I'm ready to do it for the state. And that will turn around the economy of the state for better living and development. So,
now, and I'd like to ask you a bit of an emotional question to the people of Osun State. There is a solid evidentiary foundation. Federal mining records show an active gold mining lease in Atakumasa West, covering about 11.65 million square meters. Dr. Najim, if you talk about gold beneath Osun State and the poverty above it, that is gold beneath the feet of the people, but a lot of them are living in abject poverty. There is illegal mining going on in Osun State, and they are mining those gold, mining those mineral resources right above the heads of the people of the state. What would you do if you become governor of Osun State? How would you tackle this? How would you make Atakumasa money be Osun State people's money? How would the people benefit? What would you do?
Thank you, Sheon. Yes, I said this earlier on. It is not everything that you say on the TV today, because this is a contest. And I know that for whatever decision you want to take, definitely it may affect some set of people as well, helping some other set of people. One needs to be careful. I need everybody's vote. I have my own idea of how to handle that place. In fact, I was in Iperido. I was in Atakumasa East. I look around and I see things for myself, and I see how this can develop that area without even the intervention of the involvement of the government. I've discussed with the traditional ruler in that area, and they know the way to go about it. When I have the leadership, when I have the power to, I become the governor of the state, Sheung, be rest assured, and the people of Osun be rest assured that will transform that area. They will benefit more from it, and that will be additional IGR for the state.
I'm worried though. Osun State government says the state owes 19 mineral titles and licenses, including 12 for gold. They describe mining as a major investment opportunity. Yet, there are a lot of those who will say, show me where the gold money is to the household income of the average resident of Atakumosa, or even the generality of Osun State. And I'd like you to tell us, in terms of vivid explanation of how the policy and the investment that the state has put into these areas. And you can mention several mineral resources that you can find in Osun State. But the average person is not benefiting. The market woman, the farmer in Osun State, they see this thing being flown over them. It's causing insecurity in some ways. It's causing violence in some of the areas. Environmental issue is there. The people are suffering, but there's a lot of money under their feet. What would you, Dr. Najim, do to ensure that Osun money, based on the investment Osun State said it has had, how much money, for example, do you think this can bring? And what would you do directly to ensure that this money gets into the hands of the peasants, of the poor in Osun State?
Thank you very much, Seun. I've mentioned this severally. You want to push me to that level, and I'm not going that direction. I said it. I know I've been there by myself. I know the area you are talking about, and I know what we need to do as a government. One, to improve the living condition of the people living in that area. Two, to even improve the IGR of the state. I know what to do. How long? You talk about several other mineral resources. When last did we do the auditing of the mineral resources that we have in the state? When last did we do that? There might even be discovery. The point I'm making
is this, Dr. Najim, is the fact that you remember the Second Republic, the Awolowos of this world, they typify the income and the revenue of their region to certain areas. And you could say that the Western region was known for free education and a lot of things that a lot of people who benefit. Those who schooled in the Second Republic can tell you this was the benefit of what was gained in that region. And I'm saying to you tonight, and I want you to be specific. What would you use such resources? Is it going to be
very well?
What would Osun State be known for under you if you become governor?
Very well. Very, very well. The area that are directly involved or concerned has to benefit in a very big way from because that we got the resources, we got the IGR from there. Definitely they're going to benefit from it. But for the states too, it will help us doing some other. For the gold, let me say, for be specific now. Let's talk about the gold. What stops us from having a processing company in Osun whereby they process the raw gold that they extract from the ground and turn it to other things, create employment for the people of the area in particular, and develop their areas? They have to benefit from it. There are a lot of things that we need to do in that area. I've looked around, I've studied it, and I know it. But I told you, as a policy, when you are coming up with a policy, definitely, a policy will go these two directions. For people that are more beneficial to it, people that are benefiting from it, that you want to go against their will, that is not too good for election. When we are going to the election, you don't talk much about that policy so that you not be tagged as an enemy of somebody. That is what I'm saying.
Dr. Najim, these promises that you have made, if you fail in it, are you saying tonight that the people of Osun State should not give you another chance?
To God who made me, to the glory of God, I put God before it, in between and at the back. I will not fail the people of Osun State. This is a government that the people of Osun State will appreciate. And they will forever remember that somebody served as a governor of the state. And the person is Dr. Najim Salaam. I will improve a lot of things, the welfare of the people, infrastructure, jobs and opportunity will be created, women will be support, and widow will take care of vulnerable families. The aged that are called the senior citizens elsewhere will be taken good care of. I promise to God with me that some people will not regret voting for ADC, voting for Iwaloye.
If you lose this election, would you congratulate the winner?
Well, I don't expect myself. I don't see the failure coming. I see success all the way. Success all the way, success all the way, success all the way, because the people that are going to vote are not the crowd that you are seeing at the rally. People that the headlights of the state know the direction they want to go. They know somebody that have been talking about the program he has for the state. They know the party that have been so peaceful, no crisis, since I started my campaign, I did not even use any hate switch on anybody. No violence. You go all our way, and that is why, and that is why they call us Adelaja.
Tonight, I appreciate it. I wish you the very best, and I wish you luck on Saturday, the 15th of August. Thank you so much for your time tonight.
The other party will come and congratulate me. Thank you very much. I appreciate you.
Thank you. We're going to
Thank you very much.
And when we come back, spokesperson of the House of Representatives will be joining us. Is the National Assembly a rubber stamp in a situation where the issues of policy, laws that are being made is not commensurate to the plight and the yearnings of the average person? Is it a failure of the National Assembly or what? We'll be asking a question from the lawmaker after this break. Everyone, for staying with us, welcome back. Nigeria is confronting difficult questions on several fronts, from the security of citizens at home and the safety of Nigerians abroad to the welfare and morale of troops fighting on the front lines and economic pressure confronting millions of families. The debate is growing over better pay for the armed forces, concerns over xenophobic attacks on Nigerians abroad, and the country's obligations under the Rome Statute and the International Criminal Court. There is also the larger question of governance. What is the National Assembly doing through legislation, appropriation, and oversight? I'm being joined by the Deputy Spokesperson of the House of Representatives, Honorable Philip Agbese. Thanks so much, Honorable, for joining us tonight.
Thank you, brother.
I mean, why do a lot of people will think that you and your colleagues are just mere rubber stamp? And these are antecedent. There is a background to it. The police bill came, National Assembly, national anthem. There's a lot of incident that makes people to believe that you guys are just rubber stamp of the executive.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Shewa. I think it is actually coming from the position of ignorance. That is one. Two, the trust deficit that we inherited in the 10th House of our National Assembly from past developments between the image of the Parliament and the people of Nigeria. But I want to say tonight that we are neither rubber nor stamp, and these are my reasons. We came into office in June 2023 with a clear-cut developmental agenda, how we want the Parliament to run. And then we laid this under Mr. Speaker's legislative agenda, presented it to the Nigerian people, and part of those issues that we presented and adopted as a Parliament, one is to have an open Parliament, a Parliament that permits Nigerians, to come in and ask questions and get answers to their questions as at when due. It is a credit of Mr. Speaker that this is the first time this Parliament is having both the office of the spokesperson and the deputy spokesman, running, 24 hours every day in order to give out the necessary information to members of the public who are genuinely interested in progress of the country. Two, Mr. Speaker, in his wisdom, decided to expand committeeship of the House to 138 committees to also ensure that we carry out proper oversight on the activities of the executive.
But these issues that you are listing, Honorable, apologies to botting, are not what concerns the Nigerian people.
Yes.
The speed at which you pass whatever the executive brings to you is what is concerning majorly. And they believe that Don't you guys need time to, in fact, you jettison your own state police debate and deliberation,
yes,
and you assimilate, and with speed, you go into your sessions, your closed-door session, and you pass it with the speed of light.
Yes, what I have to say to that is that we have a parliament that is actually ahead of the executive. Before the executive came up with the issue of state police, we've had series of deliberations on state police.
And that's the reason why you jettison yours?
No, we didn't jettison.
Your own version has been pushed aside to accommodate or assimilate the executive.
Okay, let me take you back to the genesis of the state police issue. It is about the security of our citizens. It is about the lives of our people. And when we came on board, we realized, the security situation across the country, the banditry in the northwest, the situation in the southwest, Boko Haram terrorist attack, herders farmers issues in the north central. And as a parliament, we commissioned ourselves immediately, to start to look at those issues. And we went round. We've had deliberations across the country on the issue of constitution amendment. And part of the constitution amendment bills we have is the issue of state police. So we are actually ahead of the executive. What the executive has proposed...
But the joke, you're not getting my question here.
Yes.
The joke is how speedily.
Yes, so
there are those even who believe that you don't even form a quorum when you are passing some of these laws.
Yeah, so what I'm saying in essence is this. We were on the issue of state police. We've gone around the country, and we have obtained a consensus from the people of Nigeria.
That's why it was faster for you to pass?
Yes, because we were not actually waiting for the executive. The executive
But that's not the only bill that people are worried about.
No, today...
They think there are incidents that...
No, today, nobody can take away from the fact that security is a very, very important issue that every one of us is concerned about.
What about the national anthem?
Well, the national anthem was not supposed to be...
It was passed in few minutes.
No, the national anthem was not supposed to be a difficult task because it was a patriotic statement.
It looks like the same thing for most of the bills that executive brings to your table.
No.
They bring the bill seeking to go and borrow money. You pass it with the speed of light. And you know what bothered about the optics, about you and your colleagues, that you guys are just there to serve at the behest of the executive.
No, you see...
Like you don't have your own mind.
No, we do have. Again, if issues come before the parliament and they do not align, proposals from the executive that do not align with our legislative agenda, of course, definitely.
Give me one of them that you have refused to pass because it did not align.
Okay, for instance, you recall that in 2023 when we came on board, there was a certain budgetary allocation for the purchase of yachts for the Navy that was in the budget, and we said no to it.
Okay, let me quickly take you, because there are other important issues, Honorable. The increment in the wages of the military, how does it, because you're a member of that committee.
Yes, I'm a member of the Committee on Defense, and this is why I say this is a parliament that is running ahead of the executive. We engage members of the armed forces. We invited the Chief of Defense Staff to our engagement, what we call sectorial debate. When the current Minister of Defense was the Chief of Defense Staff, he made a presentation to the Parliament. And part of our parliamentary proposal sent to the executive was for the government to increase the salaries and emoluments of our service
men and women. So it was the initiative from the House?
Yes, that's why I told you earlier that it is a parliament that is running ahead of the executive. What Mr. President has done is just to key into what we had proposed in the House. I remember during our budget debate with the executive, what you call budget defense, we engaged them. What you pay to members of the armed forces is not commensurate with the services that they provide for this country. It is not commensurate with their sacrifices. And that is why sometimes when budget proposals come before the parliament, you see some sort of increase, coming from the parliament, not from the executive. You realize that a couple of times they have made proposals, for instance, defense funding to a certain figure, and when it is leaving the parliament, we'll look at it. I'll recall a particular example where, an agency of government, the Border Community Development Agency, We're talking about peace, agreement, and discussions. And in that budgetary provision, they propose 4 million naira for peace building development across the country. You and I know that Nigeria of today, 4 million naira cannot go around this country. So in our own wisdom as a parliament, we took the decision to look at the reality and we added something to it.
The Rome Statute and the International Criminal Court consideration for international laws regarding relationship of country to country. What South Africa or South Africans did in the xenophobic attacks on some Nigerians, leading to the repatriation of many Nigerians. Do you think this is the way and manner this country should have handled it?
Well, like I have mentioned earlier, it is actually a big issue for South Africa and a big issue for the countries whose nationals are finding solace in leaving their own countries to other countries. I've equally said it before in my presentation at the Pan-African Parliament in Johannesburg just last week. Not every person who leaves his country to another country is also doing so because of hardship in the other country. It could be as a result of people finding love. We have seen situations where, women are married to nationals of other countries and they leave their father's home, to the other country.
Do you think Nigeria should have taken harsher decision or decisive action against South Africa?
No, I think so far, the diplomatic engagements that we have activated are making good impact. And I'll give you a good example. Today in South Africa, a group of South Africans, because when I went to South Africa to represent the to lead the Nigerian delegation, we engaged South Africans. And we had some diplomatic engagements, taking them back to history. And our ambassador has just resumed, Chief Femi Fanikaode, and he's also engaging the South African government. And today, to the glory of God, we now have a group of South African people running the Ubuntu movement. The Ubuntu movement is about peace in Africa. It's about love.
Apologies for I'm being told that I need to close, but I need you to promise that you will be back on this program.
Most definitely.
Thank you so much.
It's a
Honorable
pleasure.
Philip Agbese, Deputy Spokesperson of the House of Representatives. Thanks so much indeed for your time.
It's a pleasure, Sean.
That's our show for today, everyone. Many thanks for being part of it. I'm Sean Wakimale. God bless Nigeria.